If you know sign language, you can essentially read people like an open book. Their gestures reveal practically everything they're trying to hide from you. How do you learn this skill? Watch this video all the way through, and you'll learn how to instantly figure out what someone is really thinking or feeling. You'll be able to tell in a heartbeat when they're lying, nervous, or, on the flip side, genuinely interested in and attracted to you. Mastering body language is practically mandatory for certain high-level positions at major companies these days, since this skill unlocks an incredible ability to understand people. In this video, I've compiled 50 of the most important and common body language cues. And to make the video even more engaging, I'm challenging you to count how many of these gestures you recognize from your own life, then share the total in the comments. So let's dive into these 50 simple tells that reveal a ton about a person. Here we go. The first set deals with eye movements. If their pupils shift down and to the left, they're deep in thought. Pupils drifting to the left means they're accessing audio or musical memories. Down and to the right indicates they're recalling physical sensations. Up and to the left points to visual recall, and up and to the right usually signals they're making something up. In other words, they're lying. Crossed arms is a classic closed-off posture. It creates distance between the person and the situation, walling them off and rejecting it. If someone's fiddling with their earlobe, they're likely being dishonest. If this person puts their hands in their back pockets, that signals a desire to dominate. And if a conversation partner suddenly slows down their speech, it means they've started concealing something. Okay, let's keep going through these 50 illuminating gestures. I'll send the rest in a follow-up message. Sticking only the thumbs out of pockets also conveys a power-seeking, dominant attitude. When someone tightly crosses their arms in this particular way, demonstrates, it means they have an extremely negative view of the situation and are trying to hide it. If a person tilts their head slightly to the left or right during a conversation, that indicates they're deeply interested in the subject matter. Guys can test this out on women, and vice versa. If your conversation partner keeps their hands jammed in their pockets while talking to you, that signals they're completely disengaged and couldn't care less about the discussion. Constant throat clearing, like they've got a persistent tickle, shows the person is in a nervous state and feeling anxious and uneasy. Repeatedly touching the purse, belt, or shirt collar symbolizes insecurity. Hand-to-face or hand-to-neck gestures usually telegraph an intent to conceal the truth and can also denote general jitteriness. Pay attention to where their feet are pointed. They often indicate what's really piquing their interest, whether it's an attractive woman or a sweet car. Rapid blinking kicks in when someone's feeling tense, and that back-of-the-neck scratching motion means they're fed up and barely holding it together. When offering a handshake, notice the positioning of their palm. If it's facing down, they're trying to assert dominance, but if it's facing up, they're looking to submit. Leg crossing can subtly point out the direction of an interesting object for them. Left leg over right often means whatever they're curious about is off to the right. If a man and woman are sitting with their legs angled toward each other, there's a good chance they're digging each other. The opposite orientation suggests mutual distaste, even if they're acting polite. After a lengthy persuasion attempt, if the person suddenly takes a deep breath, that signals they've just decided to agree with you. Rubbing the chin indicates they're carefully considering and evaluating the situation. That classic student pose of supporting the cheek is a telltale sign of boredom. If someone's biting the earpiece of their glasses or the tip of a finger, they're likely assessing and analyzing something. And if a woman gives you that kind of thoughtful, appraising look, chances are good she finds you attractive. If your conversation partner seems to be gazing past you, that's a clear signal of complete indifference. Foot tapping is a dead giveaway that the person is incredibly bored out of their mind. When a guy or gal starts primping in front of a mirror, there's probably someone nearby that they're trying to impress and look good for. That pose with the hands pressed against the sides of the head shows the person is highly engaged and actively evaluating the situation. Furious palm rubbing expresses eager anticipation of success. A smile that only moves the lips without reaching the eyes indicates inauthenticity. True smiles engage the whole face. Repeatedly touching the nose tip broadcasts a strong desire to get the heck out of there as soon as possible. If someone's rocking back and forth during a conversation, That implies they don't respect their conversation partner. Covering the mouth while talking can suggest deception. Eyelid rubbing is also commonly associated with lying. All right, let's dive into the final batch of these insightful body language cues. If the person crosses their arms with the thumb sticking out, that means they consider themselves superior to everyone else. Propping the chin on a thumb points to extremely critical, negative thinking. When a conversation partner leans forward and grips the chair with both hands, that shows they're anxious to leave as soon as they can. Forehead stroking denotes puzzlement. Poking the ear with an index finger communicates uncertainty and bewilderment. Perching right on the edge of the chair signals extreme shyness and possible lack of self-confidence. Torso or legs angled toward the exit also symbolize a strong desire to flee the situation. The strength of someone's handshake grip reveals how much they want to dominate. A tendency to gnaw on pens or pencils generally indicates chronic anxiety. Pay attention to a person's overall gait. Faster, longer strides usually correlate with extroversion, drive, and focus, while shorter, more tentative steps point to introversion and caution. Repeatedly touching the wrist or watch betrays an effort to suppress nervousness. That finger-to-cheek pose with the pointer extended denotes critical evaluation, while the chin resting on finger signals distrust. If a woman sits with her legs stretched out in front of her, that means she feels very comfortable and relaxed in your company, ready for an extended chat. Hands planted on the hips telegraph readiness for action, whatever that may be. And that classic Mr. Burns hand position expresses supreme confidence in one's decisions and actions. The most important thing now is for you to comment how many of these 50 gestures you recognize from your own life experiences, or which one struck you as the most interesting. Let's discuss. There's also a poll in the corner, so be sure to vote. I'm really curious to learn more about my viewers, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. It's easy for you and rewarding for me. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. I worked hard on it, and I'm looking forward to your comments. Hopefully these 50 body language cues help you better understand the people around you. Use this knowledge wisely and stay observant. Of course, if you really wanted to, you could also use this body language expertise to your advantage. For example, if you notice a woman eyeing you with that pensive, evaluating gaze, you can be pretty confident she finds you attractive. Turning that knowledge into a meaningful connection is up to your interpersonal skills, but at least now you have a better read on her unspoken feelings. Similarly, if you spot a man subtly angling his feet in your direction during a conversation, you can infer he's engaged and interested in what you have to say, even if his words and surface behavior suggest otherwise. Paying close attention to these nonverbal cues allows you to pick up on the true sentiments people are trying to mask. Beyond romantic or professional scenarios, mastering body language can enrich your relationships across the board. Recognizing when a friend is feeling anxious and uncomfortable, despite their polite facade, gives you the opportunity to provide genuine support. Conversely, if you notice someone's enthusiasm and openness through their posture and gestures, you know you have a receptive audience for your ideas and proposals. Of course, it's important to use this knowledge responsibly. Body language interpretation is a nuanced skill that requires patience and empathy. Just because someone crosses their arms doesn't necessarily mean they're closed off. They could simply be cold. And not everyone expresses themselves the same way. The key is to consider nonverbal signals in context rather than jumping to conclusions. My hope is that this video has given you a solid foundation to start observing and understanding the unspoken communications all around you. Pay attention, be thoughtful, and you'll be amazed at how much you can learn about people simply by watching how they carry themselves. There's a wealth of valuable information to be gleaned if you know where to look. Now, I'd love to hear from you all in the comments. Which of these 50 body language cues resonated the most with your own experiences? What new insights did you gain? And don't forget to weigh in on the poll. I'm very curious to get your feedback. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.